Today we are at 2 Berry Ridge Court. This home was built in 1997 and it has 3 bedrooms with 2.5 baths, a 1-car garage, and just over 1,500 square feet. This is the view from the front of the home. This home sits in a established community, and it actually sits in a little cul-de-sac, which is nice. You do get a little bit more front yard because of the placement of the home. Just to kind of give you a look at the location. Very large cul-de-sac. The neighbors seem to take care of their landscaping and stuff, so that's a good sign. Just kind of walking over here to give you a better perspective. There's a little bend right here, and then this is where you kind of pull off to get into that cul-de-sac. Here's the right side of the home. We do have some bushes and some trees right here. It looks like the property line would come this way. This home is 2 stories and it has vinyl siding with a wood fence around the back. Here's the AC unit there. It doesn't look to be very old, but I'm not sure the date on that. Also, I just noticed that there is a bait trap for a termite bond, so we could check and see if they still have an active, pest control service. This looks like remnants of telephone lines. Looks like that one is no longer being used. Old Time Warner cable. And then this one just says telephone interface, but definitely can get cleaned up a little bit more. Also here we have probably our water shut off, and then maybe backflow preventer right there. Do have some more, hedges around the front of the home with, some mulch currently. Taking a look at the left side of the home. Still, the vinyl siding does look to be in good condition. I'm not seeing any, holes or any panels that are misaligned. Here's the look at the gate on this side. We do have looks like a single entry gate here, which we'll look at a little bit later. We do have trash and recycling pickup, which is nice. Driveway seems to be in good condition. There's of course going to be some settling cracks, but doesn't seem to be, anything big enough to be concerned about. We do have a little concrete walkway, little path to get to the front door. Once we get here, we do have some kind of that iron railing right here. A little bit of decorative pieces mixed into it. And then we have a brick porch area. Decent amount of room. It is covered. You could probably put a couple rocking chairs here if you wanted to. But you have a glass storm door and then a decorative front door as well. And of course some lights on either side. But let's take a look inside the home. As we first step inside this home, It is clear that the homeowner has, put in some work as far as updating the home. When you enter in, you are met with a staircase to give you access to the second floor. Over to our left, we have a little area probably used as a living room area. As you can see, we have a fireplace right here. It looks to be a wood burning fireplace. Seems to be working as intended. This home does have LVP flooring on the first level. And then they do still have popcorn ceilings on the first level, but they have updated almost all of the light fixtures that I've seen so far. This is a LED light with this fan, and then I believe you have a remote that can do different things with the ceiling fan, control the speeds, and I think the brightness of the light. Off of this room, we have a coat closet, which is, in close proximity to the front door. On this wall, we have looks like some type of security system that's been installed. Stepping over here, we have the half bath. So pedestal sink, mirror and light fixture with the toilet. This is under the staircase, so you'll see the kind of the pitch, the angle of the staircase. Here we have access to the water heater and I guess the HVAC return. Air handler, yep. It's nice that there's easy access to that. There's the return right there. And then we'll step into the, area for a breakfast nook if you wanted to put a little circle table here. And this enters into the kitchen to kind of give you another view of where we just were. So in here we see that, a little bit more updates. The countertop is some type of stone. I'm not sure exactly which kind, but it does look nice. The backsplash is tile. It doesn't feel like it's a stick-on plastic. Good quality backsplash. The cabinets do seem to be original with the home. They've given them a facelift by painting them and changing the the hardware a little bit. Here we have a Frigidaire dishwasher. Looks to be brand new based on the little welcome packet right there. So you could probably register that and get the warranty with Frigidaire. Here we have a refrigerator with the freezer on top. Fridge on bottom. More counter space and cabinets above the fridge. Here we have a large single basin, kind of a farm style sink, very, very deep, I'd say. I mean, that's almost a foot. And it's nice that they installed the sink under the countertop. So it looks, looks a lot nicer. Closet here, looks like we got that's the almost like a pressure washer feature to get stuff off of the dishes. Under here, you see we have a garbage disposal, which is nice. And of course, we have a window looking into the backyard above the sink. Okay. So we make our way through the kitchen. We have our electric range. Okay. This appears to be brand new as well, based on the tape right here, and then just how clean that looks. We do have a vent hood above. I think it recirculates out the top. It doesn't, come out the home. And then across from the range, we have the washer and dryer hookup. So we have a shelf above, and then of course our hookups for our water lines. And then, you have our dryer power and the exhaust right there. As we exit the kitchen, we are entering into the formal dining room space. So, see, we have another decorative light fixture, and then a good amount of room for a dining room table here. Here we have our second, living room space, or if you wanted to use it as a at-home office, you could do that as well. Looks like this would be maybe the thermostat control. Not exactly sure, but it seems to be powered off right now. The windows seem to be original with the home. Looks like there's some broken tabs right here that would act as the locking mechanism for the window, as you can see here. And let's make our way upstairs. So as you see on the stairs and on the second level, there's going to be carpeting. I did already, walk through the home, and there is a little bit of noise as I walk. I'm a little bit heavier of a guy, but not sure if this is the most desired noise. Kind of sounds like a press board under the carpeting that's, cracking a little bit. But to our right, we have the master bedroom. Here we have a nice updated ceiling fan with a light fixture. You have a window view out to the front yard. From what I can see right here, the gutters are very clean, which is nice. That usually means that there's a lesser chance that there's going to be damage to the roof. So as you exit the bedroom portion, you'll enter into the bathroom and walk-in closet. So to our left, we have a single vanity sink, the mirror and light fixture here. The flooring in here seems to be tile, very large pieces of tile. And here's an updated toilet, a comfort height toilet. Of course, we have our exhaust fan above. And then here's our walk-in shower with a shallow step to it. And then just across the sink, we have our walk-in closet. Lots of space in here, as you can see. Another look at this bedroom. Now across from the stairs, we have the guest bathroom. So here we have another single vanity sink with the matching mirror and light fixture. They've kind of gone with a lighter green color for this these cabinets. Updated a little faucet there. The flooring in here is another type of large panel tiling. It looks like it's just a little bit of a different design than the master bathroom. Here we have our tub and shower combo. We do have a window with a view of the good sized backyard. And then here we have our toilet updated comfort height toilet in here as well. Behind this door, you have a linen closet. Lots of room, lots of shelving there. And then to our right, we're going to enter into the first guest bedroom. Before we do so, there's a return vent there, another central kind of location, which is nice. So we enter into the guest bedroom. Here's our ceiling fan and light fixture. Overall, the carpet either is freshly cleaned or it's new, because it doesn't show signs of wear or stains on it. And then here is the closet for the guest bedroom. Solid closet door that worked smoothly, which is good. And we do have a view into the backyard from here as well. Now we're going to enter into the second guest bedroom. So, and here we have another style ceiling fan light fixture. It looks like it matches the ones that are downstairs, because here we have the separate remote to control, I guess, the brightness of the light, and then the fan speeds. There's 2 windows in this room, lots of natural light. Since this is facing the front of the home, this could also be used as a office space if you desired. Over on this end, we have some built-in shelving here. Very solid. And then here's a view of that closet. I'd say it's a little bit smaller than the other guest bedroom, but we still have the functioning door right here. Next, we're going to take a look at the garage. So open that door. Just to give you a frame of reference, this is exiting the breakfast nook, kitchen area, in the living room area. So there is a decent little step off right there, so possibly put little retaining blocks down there to give you another step would be nice. It says a 1-car garage. Looks like some type of repair was done here, but we do have some extra space along the side and the back for storage. Looks like we got extra paint, and then some shelving. Back here we have a workbench with some additional shelving as well. Pretty solid. And then we actually have a light hung above this as well. This does have a Craftsman garage door opener. Does work very smoothly. Coming out here, I don't see any signs of this little area right here. So I don't think it's an area of concern. It also appears like they freshly painted the garage. And then here we have the panel box, possibly. There we go. It's nice that the labeling is legible. Let's take a look at this backyard. So we do have a French door right here. Nice glass on either side. And of course, if you release that pin and you release that pin, you can open these both up. But stepping into the backyard, first we see we have a large concrete pad. Looks to be about 10 by 10. This home does appear to sit on a slab. Here's that gate that's on the left side of the home. Does function nicely. And then it has actually 2 latches. Can't really latch that with both my hands, but the first one caught it easily. Here you've got a nice mature pine tree. Looks to be alive. We have some nice mature hedges in the backyard as well that have been, groomed. There are some areas of this fence that may need some care. I'm not sure if this fence on the left side of the home would be yours or the neighbor's. I'd have to possibly assume that this is the neighbor's fencing, just because the way they have the quote unquote pretty side facing us. Got a little bit of trash back here, but nothing too bad. And then another view of that fence. There looks to be chicken wire put up around the entire fence. Possibly this fence right here is that neighbor's fence. And then the homeowner here just put up chicken wire to, I guess, maybe keep their pets from getting out. We do have 2 stumps in the backyard from where I guess they had, trees taken down. Here, I actually have another stump right here, and then the looks of possibly another stump right here as well, or this was maybe used as a fire pit right there. There's not a gate on the right side of the home. Still a very large backyard. It's about 10 a.m. so looks like, you get shade back here for the morning times and midday, and then possibly the sun will probably set along the back side of the home. But there you are.